Hello everyone, Specter here, and welcome to Star Citizen. So, today is the first day of the IAE 2953, and it's the day for the alien manufacturers. Alien ship manufacturers, not alien manufacturers. So, we're talking about like Banu, Alpha, Xperia, and also the Gatac. And yeah, so let's dive on in first. Okay, so this is an Xperia Blade. It's a light fighter. It's a replica as well for the Banu ship. So, this is the outskirt of it here, the outline of it. You can see there's a blade in here, but don't think too much about it. You can't use it for any kind of combat purposes. It's just a decoration, I believe. So, this is how it looks like from the exterior. Alright, so let's get inside of the ship by this cockpit. It's just like a bike. And sorry about that. Oh, by the way, they add up some dialogues for the NPCs, which is quite rare, I would say. It's a new thing for me, at least. I haven't been here since like almost a year in the game. Now, talk about as a light fighter, I would say that the interface of the Banu replicas or Banu ship is not my favorite because it's in red in color. And the problem is that your target usually would be red in color as well. So it turns out, well, if they flew past you, then you have a hard time to locate them again compared to the other fighting vehicles or vessels. Now, as you can see, there are two size 2, I believe that's size 2, laser repeaters, and also the warlord cannons. They are plasma cannons though, they're size 3. And the other thing I don't really like this ship is because the weapons, you can't really swap it out. So yeah, you need to stick with what you got for the weapon rates. That's all I remember about the ship. I'm not so sure they patched it up or not, or they changed something. Yeah, so far it looks like this. And the armament of the missiles would be 8 size 1 missiles, which is quite strong as if you talk about for the firepower itself. And also, if you want to like fly it or purchase it with in-game credits, it would be quite expensive as well, because as a light fighter, I believe that it costs around more than 3 million in-game credits, which is quite expensive compared to the other light fighters like a Gladius, which is about only slightly more than 1 million in-game credits. So yeah, but anyway, if you really want to try it out, you can do it right now because they can be rented for free. You can see it. Next, it comes up with Khartu-Al. It's a kind of scout fighter or light fighter for the Alpha manufacturer. I don't know how you say it for the whole thing. But anyway, it's a Xi'an fighter. Their feature will be come up with those engines. You can see it. So these engines can provide a very excellent, provide some sort of excellent mobility for the ship, so you can make the ship very agile. But the downside is that the Khartu-Al only come up with 2 size 3 laser repeaters, or maybe if you want to turn it into fixed weaponries, you can turn it into size 4s. But that's it, you don't have missiles at all. And yeah. And also, I will suggest you not to like deploy it inside a hangar, because when you deploy it inside of a hangar, usually it will be too tall to exit. And it might not be really too tall to exit, but just barely for you to exit the hangar if you do that. So you may crash your ship because of this reason. So just be aware when you want to exit the hangar. Make sure you stay like this form and deploy first, and then when you got out the hangar, then you deploy it wherever you want it, okay? So the cockpit's here. Let's see. Oh. You can see some ladder-like thing, so you can step on it. Alright, so as a light fighter, since you're sitting inside of a ball-like shape, I would say that these two balls are blocking your view, quite some of your view, which is not very good for dogfighting. But anyway, since this ship is very agile, so this shouldn't be a big problem. And I would say at some point it helped you to focus on your hostiles right in front of you as well, because you don't need to be distracted by these two, the other things around your target. Alright, so let's exit the ship first. And also, like, if you are not a kind of person like bugs, then this ship may not be your choice as well, because it sounds very odd. Yeah, it looks like some sort of insect like sound when you're trying to enter or exiting the ship. And also, it's quite expensive as well as a light fighter, because, like, as I said already, even though it's not as expensive as the Blade, this thing costs around more than $2 million. It's the same as or similar to the other so-called medium fighters, which is not very ideal as a light fighter, of course, if you talk about the price in game. Alright, let's move on. So, this is Xperia Talon Shrike. So, this Talon Shrike itself is a light fighter. I believe that is a Terravan ship replica. It's quite agile though, and it's supposed to have a shield that is like very strong to the point that no matter you're using energy weapons or other ballistic weapons, you can't penetrate it. Because normally, if you talk about the normal shields, and those ballistic weapons can penetrate it, but not for this ship. Of course, for now, they didn't really make the shield unpenetrable, so the shield would be the same as the other shields, but in the future, probably it will be changed. Compared to its sister ship, the Xperia Talon, so this ship is a missile fighter. So what does it mean? It means that, like, you can toss a lot of missiles while you only have a very weak weaponry. I believe that only like size 1 gimbal weapons or size 2 fixed weapons. Alright, so the head in here is the way you enter the pilot seat. Alright, so if it is the first time to purchase a ship, it won't be like this. It would be like really like inside of an interior, and until you activate the ship, the screen will become like transparent. So it makes it really fantastic if you talk about the feeling of like really being a spaceship. So as I said already, you have only 2 size 1 gimbal weapons, or maybe fixed size 2 weapons. But for the missiles, you got like 24 size 3 missiles, which is quite very impressive. Also, this ship is kind of having some sort of stealth capability, so it means that you can toss all the missiles while, in theory, undetected. which is quite great. But of course, right now it won't be the case. I mean, not so often. So yeah.
I've been pretty blown away by everything on the show floor this year.
Looking around, seems like a lot of people are enjoying themselves.
Alright, so let's move on to the other ship. So, this is a sister ship of the Talon Shrike. This is the Talon itself. So, the exterior will be the same, or similar, I would say. And the feature will be the same as well. But one thing for sure is that this ship didn't arm with so many missiles, only 4. And in return, you got stronger guns. You get armed on this ship. You can see these are, I believe that they are size 3 guns, and you can change it into size 4 guns if necessary. Now the cockpit is the same from here. You can enter the cockpit. By the way, if you talk about the cockpit of these Talons, both Talon and Talon Shrike, they got a kind of feature as the cockpit itself in the future can be act like an escape pods. So you can eject it from the ship entirely instead of like ejecting yourself like the other light fighters did. So you can see 2 size 3 weapons, or maybe in the future size 4 fixed weapons if you want to change them out, and 4 size 2 missiles. Stealth, the stealth capabilities is same as the Talon Shrike, but right now the stealth capabilities of this ship is not as good as the other so-called stealth ships like the Eclipse. Okay.
From what I've seen so far, I really think this is sure to beat this year.
I can see why some people love this style, but it's not for me.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, so this is the Xperia Prowler. It's a stealth drop ship. So yeah, as same as the Xperia Talons, this ship is the Terraform ship replica. It looks like a lobster from the exterior, if you look at it like this. The same as the feature of the Talon and Talon Shrike. The cockpit over here would be like can be act like escape pods in the future. Alright, so there are 2 ways to enter this ship. First, via this ladder, or if you don't like it, you can enter the ship via here, the ramp. Once if you get inside, you can see this kind of red thing. It's supposed to be a shield. So it means that if you stand right here, you can fire upon your hostiles, maybe on the landing zone and stuff, and without being shot at, because the shield itself can protect you from ballistic weapons or energy weapons, as long as the ship stays afloat. Let's close the door. So you can see a lot of jump seats in here. These are not seats, but like just simply letting you to stand like this, and when the time is correct, then you open it and jump yourself out. Alright, so this one is a co-pilot seat. It can double as a pilot seat if for some reasons the pilot is not responding. Alright.
As much as I can for now. Next call.
Yeah, I'm about ready too. Let's go.
So as same as the Talons, this thing's supposed to be like very solid. It's not a screen until you activate it. Alright, so the real, like,
IAE is worth going to. This year's pretty good. This is last year though. That was
the pilot seat is right here on top of it. I'm not so sure why I am doing this, but anyway. So this is the pilot seat.
Seeing it in person is a lot different than I imagined.
Alright. So for the weaponry itself, it's not going to be very, you know, I would say that because this is a dropship after all, you don't have missiles, you only have like a size 4 weapons and a turret up there, and you can access to a lot of different kind of components in here.
manufacturer, but a pretty solid shot.
Alright, so let's head down there. Okay, so let's get out of here. Oh, by the way, there's a feature of this dropship. So once when you landed, these things can be chosen as like a kind of like barrier, so that the people who landed, got up from the ship, can be using this thing as a kind of protection from the rear. Okay, from the rear, which is a very good feature. But now because it's raised up here, so it didn't really show anything. But yeah, I made the video before a long time ago, when it was deployed and this thing comes down, it can protect you from enemy fire, which is very nice.
I wonder how this shows.
Of course, it's quite expensive as well. It's more than 4 million in-game credits if you want to purchase it in game, but now it's for free, so feel free to try it out. Okay, let's move on. Alright, so this is Xperia Glave. So it's an upgrade version of the Xperia Blade over there. So I would say this ship is a little bit cooler than the Blade, but of course, different people got different like preference. So I sincerely hope that it won't happen as same as what I experienced last time for the last IAE, because I can't see anyone hanging around here. So it means that if I got trapped like last time, then well, I need to restart to jump into another server in order to save myself from being trapped inside the cockpit. Now, for science. As same as the Blade, you enter the ship, looks like riding a bike. And the interior, the interface would be the same as the Blade, which is in red in color. And that's very bad for dogfighting. It's hard to track your enemy. So you have 2 size 1 laser repeaters. I believe they're repeaters for laser repeaters. While you have 2 size 5 plasma cannons, which is the upgrade version of that Xperia Blade. Missile-wise, you got 8 size 2 missiles, which is a little bit stronger than the Blade. Oh, by the way, when you do it like this, you can see those things, like the Blade itself will be launched. So this Blade is really going to work at some reason, I mean for some degree I would say, but of course it's kind of hard to tell because it means that you need to ram your ship against the others. Okay. This time nothing happened to me. Good. Alright, so let's move on. And here comes the Banu Defender, the legendary Defender. Now, this ship is, right now, is currently the only Banu ship is flyable in Star Citizen. technology-wise, I would say that it combined some sort of Terravan technology, especially for the shield itself. In the future, it will share the same as the Terravan shield, which is impenetrable. If you're going to be against by, like, talk about ballistic weapons or energy weapons. Okay, now let's get inside via this ladder, and that's also the reason why I like this ship, because it got ladders. Close the door via here. You can see there's 2 gun racks in here. You can put guns in here. You got a co-pilot seat over here and a pilot seat over here. And for some reasons, it's not opening properly, which is quite odd. Now, you can see some beds in here. You can sleep, actually. And also, yep, here. For some reason it's locked, but maybe in the future you can open it. Okay, the pilot seat in here. So, yeah, I don't know what kind of bug is that, but anyway. So, if you are flying the Defender, then you need to you need to be prepared, because, like, your view will be a little bit different. You'll be a little bit tilted to the left-hand side, but it doesn't matter at all. When you're deployed, it will, it's still good for the view. And you have like 4 size 2 gimbal weapons, and I would say that these cinch weapons are really, really bad. I know some people like it, but I don't like it personally, because I don't know, it's too weak, and also it's easily overheated. So usually I would change it into fixed size 3 weapons, which is like repeaters. Usually I would choose. Missile wise, you have 4 size 2 missiles, which is great, but not as great as the other fighters. Well, speaking of the range itself, since it's a battle ship, you've got a longer range compared to the other ship, so-called the light fighters, because it is nearly the size of a medium fighter after all. So I would say that, well, maybe the alien ship manufacturer, when they categorize their ship, would be different from what human species would do. So in the game, it costs around like 2 to 3 million in-game credits. And this one is a player, I believe. Yup, it's a player. Alright. And it looks like crap as well if you view it like this way, which is quite interesting. Now, let's move on to the middle. Okay, so this is the main character of today's show of the IAE 2953. It's the Gatac Syulen. It reminds me some sort of like World War II fancy German fighters. But anyway, this ship is a kind of fighter from the Gatac, and the last time we heard about Gatac would be the Gatac Railen, which is a kind of freighter, but it's not flyable yet. This ship is kind of like took the first place for the Gatac series of ships and become flyable. You can see some sort of like Xi'an words up above here, which is quite cool. And also, like the skin itself, it looks like some sort of like, is this, do you call it like Damascus steel? I think that is how you say it. Yeah, it looks like some sort of steel-like thing. And the pattern itself is cool as well. Yeah, it's like really good. Now, the way to enter the ship is via here. There's a ladder in here, so you can get up to the ship, close it via putting this button, and the ladder itself will become wall, which is quite good. So now you've got some sort of like modules in here. which is quite good, and it's well hidden as well. Now for this one, is kind of like weapon racks, and this one is probably some sort of escape pods. Now this is the elevator, so be careful, watch your step. So in the middle, this one is a living quarter. So this one is I believe that, yeah, it's a chair, and if you press it, it will raise up and let you sit on it. And there's a bed in here, which is quite good, and if you press it, you can, like, you know, enter the storage, of course. Sorry about that. Press the button. And here, it probably will be washroom. And the washroom itself, you press this button, and you will come out in a very fancy way. Okay, which is quite good. Now let's move on to the upper section. So, getting an elevator in a ship is not a bad thing, but usually, well, just watch your step, okay? So simply because, like, usually elevator of a ship, when you're quantum traveling, if someone like using the elevator, it means that it's a very quick way for you to exit the ship. And let's see, what kind of thing is this? Oh wow, there's more modules in here, okay? And here as well. More modules, which is good. And here comes a pilot seat. Alright. So, you enter to the cockpit in a very fancy way. And you've got size 3 laser repeaters, as well as like 12 size 2 missiles, which is quite good. But here comes the downside of this design of the ship. I won't against like any kind of creative ship designs, but this is not very ideal because, well, first of all, you can't see anything when you deploy it. So you make sure you choose a hangar that is, if you can choose it, you can choose a hangar that is like having a top open like style instead of like a side open one, because if that's the case, you have a hard time exit the ship. Exit the hangar. Secondly, yeah, even though you press like this, the third person mode, it won't change anything. You can't see anything. So it means that you must deploy your ship inside of the hangar. But the thing is that when it was deployed, just like the other Xi'an ships, like the Alpha Khartu-Al, the wings will extend it so that it will have an easier time to having some sort of interaction with the hangar. Like when you're like flying outside of the hangar. So you need to be careful when you're leaving the hangar. Make sure your wings will not be hit. Or hitting the hangar door or something. Right. Otherwise, this ship is kind of creative. I really like it. Just the way you fly this ship is a little bit different. And just be aware of it, will be fun. Alright, so let's move on. Here comes the Alpha Nox. These are the hover bike. So right now, I would say that these bikes are not very useful. I don't know like what kind of thing you can use it for, but you still have some sort of weapons in here, size 1 laser repeaters in here. You can enter the ship like this, because they are just spikes, okay? So you can carry them like on your ship and deploy it, but just make sure that be careful with the turrets, because it seems like the turrets will still interact with these kind of flying hover bikes. So just be aware of it, we'll be fine. Alright. Good. Now let's move on. So here comes the Gatac Railen. It's a freighter of the alien species Xi'an. So currently it's not flyable. You can see like at the back of it, you can see some sort of triangular pods in here. These are cargo pods. So you can put some container inside so that it will be protected by those pods. But well, just be aware it's still like not as good as a ship's hull. So it means that in the future, if like ballistic weapons penetrate your shield and it will hit those pods, you have a higher chance to get those containers like damaged. But still, it's a kind of cool feature as a first alien type of freighter hanging around in Star Citizen. But not flyable yet, at least you've got some sort of image. How does it look like? Secondly, you can see these are the Banu merchantmen. It's still in development, but very unfortunate they stopped a while already, again. But yeah, they're getting improving. I mean, they're going to improve it and making it bigger to the point that I don't really understand like whether they can still fit inside of those large ship hangar landing pad or not. Because the size itself is already exceeding like the 890 jump already. So I think that CIG can't keep the promise of like letting these Banu merchantmen land on the large ship landing pad anymore. But let's see how they fix that, or maybe they change a little bit of things, or making a larger landing pad or something like that. And here comes the Tok Yai, the Alpha ship. Is a big sister of, or big brother of the Khartu-Al. So, same as the other Xi'an fighters, you've got a very agile looking folding wings and stuff. Still in development, although like it's the last time I noticed that is that they failed the test or something like that. They need to develop it again or need to improve it again. But anyway, yeah, we won't see it flying anytime sooner. Like, we should be like some time. We need some time to improve it. But anyway, yeah, it's a kind of good looking ship, but not my favorite though. So well, yeah. So basically, that's it for today's video of today's like 2953 IAE. I hope you enjoy. I know that there's a cargo section I didn't visit yet, but anyway, I will visit it later. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoy, and I shall see you guys next time. Bye bye.